Hey guys, Clumsy here, and welcome back to A Clumsy Pilot's Life. Couple of new things in this episode. First, my face, because I've just been streaming. We were doing a livery, because we now have the A321 by Toliss released, and since I am employed by Cebu Pacific in our virtual career, I decided to make my own livery because there's no Cebu Pacific livery just yet. And this is why we have the CG logo right there. So, it's not perfect, but I like it. I'm proud of it. And so we can fly now with full Cebu Pacific livery, including the tail number, which is accurate both inside and outside. Like so. Love it. Right. Some other updates in the Pilot's Life department. Let me show you. We actually got promoted. So if you look at our XP now, we are now a first officer. So before we were a junior first officer, and now we are earning a lot more per flight. If you look at my current flights here, before we were earning like around 2 point something, 1 XP, but now as the same flight would amount us to 4 XP, because as first officer you gain more. And also we got paid because it's the start of the month, every real life start of the month, so it's March 3 now. You get paid by the employer based on how many flight hours you did and depending on your hourly salary. So now we have $300+ in the bank. I know that's not very much. I guess it's very low for a real pilot, right? But I mean, fine. So now we can actually buy stuff. And yes, I'm doing this live, so we have some folks in this chat as well. Thanks, Sonoma, for being here. So this is quite a different episode than usual. Normally I would record it offline and without face cam, but yeah, I just finished fine-tuning this livery online, so might as well take it for a spin. And as Alex said, if something fails, don't blame me. We blame it on the paint job. It's still wet. So these are pretty expensive stuff, but I think we can buy something. These guys are only for appearance. Metal pin, sunglasses, but these guys above, like a flight bag, it would cost $280. Carry everything in an elegant and smart compartmented flight bag. It actually has a benefit, plus 5% XP per flight. I would have wanted the mobile phone, very timely for the S20. Mrs. Clumsy just got her S20 yesterday. She's so happy. But that's $90. We don't have money. So I think my money went to Mrs. Clumsy instead. Not just kidding. She bought that one on her own. So add that to cart, 280, and let's check it out. Spend 280 on these items, yes. I have never bought an item before, so I'm taking you guys with me. That is if the game doesn't hang. This Pilot's Life app doesn't hang on me. It is still loading. There we go. Order complete. Verify your inventory page for the items you have purchased. Okay, let's try that. Go back to the dashboard. Inventory is here. Almost a month's salary. I know, right? Oh, and you can't see it, can you? Let me see how I can show you that to you. Maybe I can show you that other one. That one. Does it show? Award. So I got a free thing. This award, first 50k completed flights in APL, A Pilot's Life. So this is something that they did for an achievement for the entire community who have this. If you did at least one flight when they reached 50k flights overall for all people, then you got that item free, and that's a free plus 5% XP. And then in addition, we have the flight bag now, so that's a total of 10% XP bonus. That's going to be huge in the long term. So yeah, pretty happy with that. And now we can really fly. It's time everyone flies. So yes, this is the A321 now. And if you look at the current flight, This is actually a real aircraft. Cebu Pacific does have an A321, and the registration number is RPC4111, which is exactly what we have in the livery. Oh, you can't see the pop-up, can you? But you can see this one at least. This is a real plane in the Cebu Pacific livery. So if you look here, this is what I just finished doing, and I'll upload this in the forums for the fans of Cebu Pac out there. So that's the same tail number inside and outside as I showed a while ago. RPC4111. So we have it as accurate as we can. Thank you for following Downspeed. And thanks for the host. The back has a CG logo. I hope so. But I haven't changed that livery yet. Right, let's go and enable air traffic control. Looks good. Let's go ahead and get our pushback ready.
Hey Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
That pushback looks good to me.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
And let's go and check these. Everything is good. IRS is aligned. And looks like we can actually start the APU. There's the tug. Looking good. So I'll try and remember to post a link in the video description when this is up in YouTube. I'll release something. Release this livery with you guys. There's the APU starting up. We are flying today from Manila to Cebu. How timely.
Alright, looks like doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
And this is the A321, as I mentioned. This is the brand new plane from Toliss. I've been flying with it. I have not quite gotten that landing, that flare. It's very tricky. It's like heavy but floaty at the same time. It's so confusing. But yes, it's a work in progress, so don't blame me if we mess it up. But other than that, and other than the actual feel, most of the stuff inside, the procedures are almost the same as the A319. So I didn't even have to read the manual to understand. So we are flying. Actually, this might be the same flight that we did before.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected. Bypass pins inserted. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Thank you. Ipata 2 Alpha. Departing via runway 06. Climbing to 3,000 feet, then turning right. And then we intercept the Manila VOR at a 130-degree angle. That's from the VOR, 130 degrees outwards. That's the path that we're taking on Tucamba, above 6,000, Caban, above 10,000, and finally Ipata. So that's pretty straightforward. And looks like everything is set. APU is available. Actually, let's go ahead and get our clearance. Delivery Cebu Air 559. Ready to copy Ifr Clearance.
Good morning, Orange 61.
And they did not hear me. Dang it. Let's do that again. Maybe I... oh, because when I say delivery in the beginning, they don't really get it that much. Cebu Air 559er. Ready to copy Ifr Clearance.
Cebu Air 559er is cleared to Romeo Papa Victor Mike, climb via the IPA-2A departure, with the IPATA transition, then as filed. Expect departure runway 06. Climb to flight level 170 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 119.9er squawk 3150.
Let's have our co-pilot read that back. There's no chance she will understand me saying all of that.
Cebu Air 559er is cleared to Romeo Papa Victor Mike climb via the IPA-2A departure with the IPATA transition, then as filed climb to flight level 170 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 119.9er squawk 3150.
Cebu Air 559er read back correct. QNH is 1015 contact ground on 121.35 when ready for pushback. Have a good morning.
QNH is 1015, ground on 121.35, Cebu Air 559er.
Aircraft calling clearance delivery, say again with your call sign.
I should have had him read that back. Okay, 121.35, so I did remember the right frequency. GPS primary. Looking good. Roger, Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor? Ground Cebu Air 559er. Ready for pushback and engine start.
Cebu Air 559er pushback and engine start approved.
Pushback and engine start approved. Cebu Air 559er. Looking good. Beacons are on. Turn off the parking brake.
Here comes the pushback.
bleeds
Line 'em up.
on. Forgot my cap actually. APU has been enabled. Let's go ahead and enable track IR as well so I can move freely about. And yeah, my frame rate is still stuck to 30. I don't know why that is. It's a bit buggy sometimes. It's tricky. There we go. Alright, that's working now. Thank you. So let's go and start our engines. Ignition. Engine 2, start. Have a look outside. Should start spooling up. Oh no! Please stop. AI, please look at me. See me. Sometimes they see us, sometimes they don't. Looks like they will not in this case. But then again, engine is starting to spool up, so it's fine. They are stopping actually. It's pretty cool. Oh, is that a movie? I did miss the reference. Which movie is that? I like the CFM engines better. I don't know why. It just feels more familiar to me, I guess. Cebu Pacific. Cebu Pacific. I love how this length of the A321 doesn't feel like a toy plane anymore. The A319 was such a good plane. It still is, but somehow it just feels like an oversized GA sometimes because it's so short, so small. But yeah, this one feels like a proper airliner. Having 200 plus people in here, look how many people we have on board. 224. It's a full flight. Goodness. Maybe we should start engine 1 as well, huh? Forgot about that.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Off we go.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
I love that hum. Let's go and increase the volume.
121.195.
It's going to be great for the takeoff. Air Asia there, taking off as well. This is why I love Traffic Global. Just the airports just feel so alive. Looking good. Thanks for the pushback. This is going to look amazing later once we start extending our flaps. Airplane 2. Oh, there was a sequel. Nice. You have 2 good engines.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
So we can turn off our APU. That plane is still waiting behind our back, is it? It is. It's quite nice how they see us. Show me the pin. There it is. Alright, good. Ground Cebu Air 559er, ready to taxi.
Aircraft calling ground, say again with your call sign.
Cebu Air 559er, ready to taxi.
Cebu Air 559er taxi to runway 06 via taxiways Lima, Golf 9er, Charlie 6, Hotel 2.
Taxi to runway 06 via taxiways Lima, Golf 9er, Charlie 6, Hotel 2, Cebu Air 559er. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and make that call. Max auto brake. Spool up a bit. Stay behind that JAL, Japan Airlines. And let's extend the flaps on this angle. Super cool. Love it. So looks like we will be number 2. Now for takeoff, we'll need a down 0.4. Spoilers are not yet set. And takeoff config test. There we go. Let's turn on the weather radar as well. Actually, I haven't tested the weather radar if it's working on my end. Some people have reported it doesn't work. But again, some people are testing it in like light weather, like not really intense precipitation. It will only appear when the weather is really bad. Any point now, they'll ask us to switch over to tower. We'll see. Did I forget anything? Could be. I forgot the timer there. That's fine. Yeah, looks like we are holding short. Couple of guys landing
Cebu
there.
Air 559 a contact tower on 118.4. Enjoy your morning.
Tower on 118.4. Good morning, Cebu Air 559er. Okay, let's go ahead and stop here. Maybe not too close. So now we can switch over. Close that. Let's see if they'll see this guy in front of us. Because I think Pilot to ACTC doesn't see planes that are on the ground. We'll test that. Tower, Cebu Air 559er, ready for departure, runway 06. Okay, got me that time. But it will take a while for them to understand. I should be doing something, but I think I've forgotten. Well, it'll come back later. I hope. In the meantime, let's go and enjoy the amazing view of these landing planes. What airline is that? It's PAL. Lovely. Is it our time to shine yet? How many people are lining up here already? Let's have a look. Just one. But there's one more there incoming. Traffic is real. Nice. Might take forever for this to happen. There we go, finally. Thank you. What plane is that, guys? Is that a 777? Or a 787, I think. With those big chevrons right there at the back.
Cebu Air 559er hold short for traffic on final runway 06.
That's working. Nice. Still not done transmitting. You can hear the radio. The static still there. Did it hang on me? I hope not. There's someone landing in there as well on final. 787. Indeed. Nice, thank you. Let's wait here. Looks like we'll be waiting for that guy. In the meantime, that 787 has already been cleared for takeoff. The woes of real traffic. I remember Arianos, one of our subs who is a real pilot, shared a photo of this exact scenario. There were like, I don't know, 5, 6 other planes waiting to take off. Beautiful. Please let me go before that one. Need to do a rolling start if ever. 130 at 8 knots are the winds. I think we'll have to wait for that guy though. Oh, okay, fine. So let's go and explore this. I think this one, it's correct actually to leave this in ignition, because this is like equivalent of having the engines in continuous in the 737, and also because the ECAM doesn't complain that it's in ignition, and after you take off is only the time when it says that ignition is still on. So I think it's to make it's like a fail-safe in case the engines fail sometime in between takeoff or right after takeoff, that you still have a chance of starting them. So I think that's right that we keep it like that. Any time now? Probably give us a couple of minutes. I think around 1 to 2 minutes is the normal separation. Absolutely loving this plane though. I think I've done like, I don't know, 5, 6 flights with this or more, and I still can't quite get it how the landing works. It's very sensitive. I think I've actually reached that point where I'm starting to overthink it. So that's very tricky. It's very dangerous when that happens. Nothing is there, but nothing is clearing us as well. It seems like pilot or ATC actually hanged. Well, that kind of sucks. Let's give it a couple more minutes. Couple more seconds maybe. Let's admire the paint job first. The livery that I did. Looks legit, doesn't it? I'll take it. I'll take it. Ready for takeoff. Yeah, the software has hanged actually. I can't even trigger my push to talk anymore. Maybe it's because there's that one more. So I think we'll have to wait for that guy as well. This is fast becoming a plane spotting episode. And there's one more there. Super busy during this time of day, huh? Weird. Well, at least we can do a lot of plane spotting. Though I'm not sure what this will do for the episode. Yeah, I actually said that a while ago, right? Ready for departure. But then they told us to hold short. And then they'll give us further instructions, supposedly. But it looks like it hung. It's
Cebu
working
Air
now.
559er line up and wait. Runway 06.
See, it's still hanging. Line up and wait. Ah, it's still triggering. Come on. Line up and wait, runway 06, Cebu Air 559er. There you go, now it's working again. Perfect. Let's go ahead and turn on our takeoff lights. EARA strobes are in auto, so that's fine. These approach lights shouldn't be here. That's okay. That should be aligned right there. Nice. Let's wait. Nothing coming there. It's actually nice, huh? Very realistic. They actually let you wait like this. Not very good for recording, but very realistic. Flaps 1, everything is set. Cabin ready, landing lights, everything is green on the ECAM. Just waiting for clearance.
Cebu Air 559er, winds are 131 at 8 knots, cleared for takeoff, runway 06.
Start the chrono. Cleared for takeoff, runway 06, Cebu Air 559er. Push the nose down, spool to 50%. Manflex. Try and keep center line. Manflex. There you go. Airspeed's alive, 80 knots. Remove the forward pressure on the stick. V1. Rotate. Oh, that's too abrupt. I keep losing my thrust. Positive rate gear up. Looking good so far. Let's keep at it. It's a bit loud, isn't it? It's fine. And I realized that the Airbus actually has an auto trim feature. You can see the trim moving. Lever climb. And once I push down here, and let go, yeah, look at that. It actually trims on its own. Didn't know that was a thing. That is so cool. So once you let go of the pressure on the stick, it tries to keep it there. So you don't need to keep holding it all the time. That's so cool. Flaps retract. I can let go of the throttle. Ground spoilers are still armed. Let's go and disarm that. Ignition, we can go. And yeah, in terms of handling, this plane really feels different versus the A319. Feels much heavier, especially when you're hand flying like this. That view, guys. Look at that view. Easier to fly than the 737. Yeah, I guess you can say that because it's so much more automated. The systems are really designed in such a way to ease the burden off from the pilots. It's a very smart feature. One sec, guys. Let's have a look at that beauty. Oh yeah. That might be our thumbnail right there. Who knows? Goodness, that looks so good. Oh yeah, by the way, I also changed a few ortho photos. I downloaded some ortho photos from Google, replaced them. Previously I had Bing ortho photos, and it was quite so too loud. The Bing satellite images were very what do you say, cloudy, lots of clouds, so it's ugly for ortho photos because the mountains, well, you can see the clouds in there directly. You should be switching to departure already. Cebu Air 559er, climbing to flight level 170.
Cebu Air 559er, good morning. Radar contact.
I'm speeding here. Don't go beyond 250 knots, my bad. So we can have a look. That point is the intercept. And that point, that magenta thing, is when we reach 10,000 feet and the speed limit restriction of 250 knots is retracted. Loving this view. Yeah, so I don't need the trim keys at all. I just need to move my stick, let go, and the plane automatically trims to that spot. So cool. Love that sound. It's a bit loud. It's cool as heck though. There we go. Above 10,000 feet. Get that trim. Now we can turn off the landing lights and maybe let our passengers go for a bio break. I'm still hand flying, because why not? Good, so now we have nothing on the ECAM. That's what we want, that's how we want it. Perfect. Right, intercept has been reached. Now we're making our left turn towards
Cebu Air 559er, contact Manila departure on 119.9er. Have a good morning.
We're there already.
Cebu Air 559er, climb and maintain flight level 170.
We are 170. Climb and maintain flight level 170. Cebu Air 559er. Going beyond 11,000 feet, we switch to standard QNH. Cebu Air 559er, climbing to flight level 170.
Cebu Air 559er, radar contact.
Just hand fly this a bit so that by the time I land, I can get a bit of practice and feel for the plane. Man, look at those clouds, huh? That is beautiful. Look at this from this angle. So good. Actually looks quite real, huh? So many photos. There we go. Terminal constraints here. Caban above 10,000 feet. Yeah, should be good. Is that the right departure? Yeah, Caban above 10,000 and then Ipata. I think we can close that already. We can start opening up. Visayas, Mactan. Then Cebu. Arrival will be Batay 3 Papa. That's Terminal 04 arrivals, I think. How are we on the stick? I still haven't enabled autopilot. We're still hand flying this. Might not be wise for me to leave the controls here. Man, that looks so good. Look at the clouds there. Let's have a look. This one.
Cebu Air 559 climb and maintain flight level 250.
Climb and maintain flight level 250, Cebu Air 559. What is that? I guess that's the marker that we have reached, almost reached the selected altitude. Now that shouldn't be happening anymore. Climb is still continuing. Yeah, even without autopilot, I mean, this is such a nice plane to fly. Really gives you a lot of guidance, and it's perfect because being in a desktop simulator like this, we don't have the feeling of the yoke, right? The stick. We don't have that feedback. So it's very hard to trim in a desktop simulator when you don't have that feel of pulling against the plane. But with the Airbus, because it's fly-by-wire, so it's basically like you're not really physically connected to the plane. It's much closer to a desktop simulator, so it's much easier to simulate. I really like it. Such a pleasure to fly. And all the systems are automated, almost. And you have failures if you want it, and you want some excitement and random faults and all that stuff. That can work as well. I think we're good here. But yeah, that auto trim feature, that's only something I recently discovered as I was reading through the forums. There was I think a real life 737 pilot, and he was trying out the A321, the Toliss, and he was saying that that is the one thing that he is envious about, the auto trim feature. I was like, what auto trim? And then yeah, I noticed that it keeps moving on its own. Like if I move it something like push it up like so and then let the stick go, it should trim automatically. Well, maybe not always, but yeah, that's the idea. Hey, thanks for following. Welcome to the channel. Just checking out the A321. Absolutely loving it. And testing out the new livery that I just finished making and recording for the Clumsy Pilot series. This should be episode 4. Might be too lengthy though, so I think what I'll do is I'll pause the recording and we'll be back by the time when it's almost time for descent. So let's do a little flyby and I'll catch the guys over in a bit. Maybe one more. Maybe change the angle a bit. There we go. Lovely. And we are back just like that. If you are watching this in YouTube, then it felt just like a second because it was. But I have been continuing the stream here with the guys, just hanging out. We are at flight level 330 now and around 40 miles away from top of descent. I'm still hand flying. First time I've tried hand flying all the way through in a flight. It's quite interesting. It gives a nice feel of how this bus flies and gives a nice feel of that auto trim wonderful mechanism. So let's go back and check out our charts. So this one is also open the airport here. So for RNAV approach to runway 04, MDA is 410 feet. So let's go and set that up. Enter destination data, 410 MDA. I've been watching a few of V1 Sim's streams. He's a real-life Airbus pilot and he streams as well. And he told us that it's usually MDA that is used instead of decision height. I think decision height is only for Cat 2 and 3 approach, similar to how you do it in the 737. QNH is 10. Let's have a look at the destination in Cebu. 1014. Temperature is 29 degrees Celsius. Winds are 030 at 12 knots, not gusty, thank goodness. And that is good right there. Approach speed at 148, landing speed at 143. So for a 3-degree angle descent, that should be around 700 feet, I think. I've been googling some articles on how to compute that based on your ground speed, how what should be your feet per minute to achieve that 3-degree descent angle that is typical for most of the approaches. And they gave a formula. Ground speed times 5 would be your feet per minute ideally, or ground speed divided by 2 times 10, something like that. Yeah, pilot to ATC, very nice. Perfect for the Philippines because we hardly have any VATSIM or any controllers here for VATSIM or
Cebu Air 559er descend to cross Batay at flight level 190, then descend via the Bata 3 Papa arrival with the Batay transition to 4,000 feet. QNH is 1014 at Mactan Cebu International.
Okay, let's follow that. We'll cross Batay at flight level 190, then descend via the Bata 3 Papa arrival with the Batay transition to 4,000 feet. QNH is 1014, Cebu Air 559er. I hope they got me. Let's go and descend here. Make sure we are having that flight level 330 balance. So it said we should descend, we should cross Batay. So we go here, Batay, click this one, right select key, flight level 190 for the altitude constraint. And that should give us that target, perfect. So it says that we can meet it, that's why it's magenta. If it's orange, that means we cannot meet that target. So that will be our adjusted top of descent. And then we go and descend via the Batay 3 Papa arrival to 4,000 feet. QNH is 1014 in Cebu. Let me just set that up. Go back to standard. Maybe let's stick to flight level 330 here. And around 5 miles before top of descent, I'll press this so that we can go to manage descent and let the plane take us there. Yeah, decision height is mostly for ILS approaches, I think only. ILS approaches that are category 2 or 3. I think even category 1 you would put in MDA. I'm not so sure though. I'm not sure if I heard him right. I think I'll have to study up on that a bit more. One thing that's useful as well when you're trying to follow the flight directors, you can pop that up right there. And it's much easier to follow. Although it's not very realistic, I'm not a fan of pop-ups like this, like in any other sim that we've tried. But it's very useful. It's very useful. Yeah, that's 5 miles. Let's go and push this button. Manage descent. And now, because I don't have autopilot on, I have to do this on my own. So I have to follow this manually. But at least we have auto thrust. So the thrust is going now to idle, bit by bit. Actually, we're still a bit early. can see that the vertical deviation is still there, that green dot. In the A319, that's a bit of a different color. I think this is a new version of the systems. Not sure what you call it. But yeah, top of descent is still in 3 miles. So in 3 miles, that green should be right in the middle. So in the meantime, we can keep this level. This is how the plane does it in autopilot. When you press the manage descent ahead of the top of descent, it will start to descend, yes, but it will stick to 1,000 feet per minute until that green deviation catches up. So in our case, that's progress. Yeah, when this goes to 0, the vertical deviation. You can see the green catching up now. That's where the magic will happen. That's where we will start our descent in earnest. So you can do that as well. Also with the A321, this is something new that is not in the A319 at the moment. I think the A319 will eventually reach this. We'll get this eventually, but for now it doesn't. It has fixed information now. Thrust descent. So we're going, the engines are going to flight idle. And what's new here, if I can leave my controls for a bit, is I can go to flight plan, hit any one of these, fix info. I can enter, for example, the airport, give me a marker 15 miles away from the airport, and give me another marker on the airport again, but also when we reach 5 miles. So this is exactly the same as in the 737, the fix info, and there you can see that those radials, those circular things, right? So it gives you a better visual indicator on where you are and how far you are away from something. Very useful. It's looking good. 35 minutes flight time so far. Looks like we are bang in the middle here. 300 knots planned. Is it 300 knots that we're planning? Perf. 314, which is 0.75 Mach. Which is exactly there. Nice. Hey, thank you for following. Welcome to the channel. Hope you enjoy the chill stream. Doing good, Color. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Are you into flight sims as well? Also, the A321 released by Toliss, this plane, it actually got already a patch. It's now 1.0.1 or something. Some hot fixes a day or two after the release. So they've been really keeping a close eye on it, keeping up to speed with all the major bugs, the major defects, and they've fixed them already. So I think it even fixed the FMS here, the MCDU. Because I remember before when I would put something here, flight level 190, it wouldn't see that. It would keep that as orange. But now it's able to track that properly. So I was really happy with that. First time that worked off the bat. Very nice. It's nice hand flying this thing, although my arms are starting to ache now. Flying this thing all throughout. Hand flying. Autopilot is missing us. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and plan the different frequencies already. 124.7 and 118.1. So let's plug that in now. 124.7. And later, when they switch us to approach, we'll plug in the tower frequency, 118.1. So that when ATC hands us off, we just flick the switch key. Hey, Sky! Goodness, thanks, man. How are you? 6-month streak. 8 months in total. Amazing stuff. Thank you. Glad you made it to this ad hoc stream. So I close that. GG indeed. What have you been up to these days? Yeah, all these are orthophotos. I was able to download orthophotos for the entire Philippines. They're not perfect in every right, but not bad, right? I mean, you can see some like blemishes. Not sure how we would call them, but it's much better than the default terrain at least. Not much. It's all good. Peaceful. I like that. We do have some planes hovering across, although we have not been able to do any plane spotting yet at the moment. Yeah, because they would only show up visually when they're around 10 miles away, 10 nautical miles away. Look at this. This is going to be perfect. We were instructed to cross Batay at flight level 190, right? And look at our altitude right now and how close we are to Batay. Look at that. That's perfect. Crossing Batay, 1 mile away. That is precision right there. Flight level 190, and now we have crossed to the other waypoint. On the dot, 1 second apart. It's beautiful. Amazingly done. Switch to constraints here. Zoom in a bit. I should start doing this more often. Hand flying more often. Feels much better. Starting our descent. Aiming for the flight director. Lovely. And this auto trim can really get your mind off things. You just set it and forget it, literally. You see there is a magenta circle right there, which should signal a speed limit restriction. Because at Tonyo, looks like we are limited to 250 knots or 4,000. So before that, 11 miles beforehand, we will be slowing down. That's what that logo is for. This is nice. So right now we are on the arrival already. We crossed Batay at 190 as instructed by air traffic control, and we should reach Tonyo 250 knots. Now before, in the initial release of this plane, it did not do such a good job at slowing down. This time, let's see if that got fixed. Before I had to enable the speed brakes just to slow down properly. Here we'll see if this is going to change at any point. Looking good there. The only downside to this is because I'm streaming this right now, I can't publish this to YouTube later.
Cebu Air 559er contact Mactan approach on 121.2.
Hey, that's
Enjoy
different.
your morning.
Approach on 121.2 Cebu Air 559er. It's fine. Okay. See here if I'm far away from the profile. Just adjust as necessary. It's good. Approach, good morning. Cebu Air 559er, descending to 4,000 feet.
Cebu Air 559, good morning. Radar contact. Continue descent via the Bata tree for part arrival. for the RAV approach to runway 04 with the Toyoyo transition at Mach 10 Cebu International.
Slanners. Continue descent via the Bat 3 Papa arrival for the Arnav approach to runway 04 with the Tono transition, Cebu Air 559er.
Cebu Air 559er MACTA and Cebu International is reporting few clouds. Visibility is unrestricted with the 031 at 12 knots. Current QNH is 1014. Advising runway 04, left traffic approach frequency is 121.2.
Thank you, Cebu Air 559er. Let's go wrong. I got a problem. I got an error somewhere. I'm not sure which one. Pilot's life still seems to be okay. I'm not sure. We'll see. 118.1 frequency. That would be the tower. Let's get that ready already. Good. Still on our descent right here. And look at that. We are reaching 10,000 feet. Ah, there we go.
Cebu Air 559er QNH is 1014 cleared for the RAV approach to runway 04 with the Toyoyo transition at Mach 10 Cebu International.
Now we're
Cebu Air
bleeding on speed.
559er slow to 185 knots for left.
Wow, 185. That's intense. We'll go Cebu Air 559er. The RNAV approach has a final approach fix of 2,400, and because we've been cleared for that approach, we can lower this now to 2,400. Like so. This is quite nice actually. If this was autopilot, then we would be staying at 10,000 feet, bleeding off the airspeed until we reach 250 knots, and then we will continue our descent again. It's actually quite smart. But then again, I'm not using autopilot, so there is a bit of inconsistency. But you get the picture. Quite a few clouds in there indeed.
Cebu Air 559er slow to 185 knots for left.
Oh yes, my bad. We'll go Cebu Air 559er. I'm really not sure where they're getting these speed restrictions. I don't see them anywhere in the published approach charts, but maybe I just missed them. But it seems to be consistent in this area. I don't know, or maybe it's just a wrong interpretation by pilot ATC. But in any case, it can happen in real life, so let's follow it. I think I need to get some speed brakes going here, otherwise the lady will get mad at me. And I think it would be nice to set down flaps already. Extend flaps 1. Now I think you have to extend the flaps at VFE minus 10. So actually it should be that line, that orange line, minus 10 knots.
Cebu Air 559er slow to 185 knots for left.
We'll go Cebu Air 559er. So let's go to flaps 2 already as early as now. Or maybe we don't need to do that. Yeah, maybe we can keep this speed. Now we're still not slowing down enough. One more level of flaps. That should be perfect. Oh, I love this. Passing through clouds is my favorite thing here. Either from above going down or the other way around. Super cool. Okay, no more need for speed brakes. Looking good. There we go, 185 knots. Now ATC is not complaining anymore. Those markers, those fixes, help a lot in determining how far I am. Gives me an idea of when I should start setting up and stuff like that. Request tower flyby to show off my new paint. Sounds good. I like the sound of that. This view, guys. Oh. Yeah. It's well enough. There we are. Airport should be somewhere over there, I think. So far, looks good. Let me check if everything is still the same. 030 at 12 knots. That is what we have set up here. Yeah, looks good. Everything is still consistent. Because normally you would have to monitor that, listen to ETIS and all that stuff, and adjust, because the weather can change at any moment. Alright, oh man, not the best time for my arm to get tired. Not right at landing. Maybe I should have made use of that autopilot, huh? But it's a challenge. No autopilot challenge, but with auto trim and auto thrust. So that's still a huge help. The passengers have probably been complaining since the beginning. Why is the flight so rocky? What's happening? It's not windy. You guys just have clumsy pilot. Can't do anything about that.
Cebu Air 559 QNH is 1014 at Mach 10 Cebu International Contact Tower on 118.1. Have a good morning.
There we go. QNH is 1014, tower on 118.1, Clumsy 559er. Good morning. Let's go and switch. Tower, good morning. Cebu Air 559er inbound for RNAV approach to runway 04. Did she hear us? I hope so. Passengers have no
Cebu Air
excuse.
559er, good morning. Radar contact.
That's
Continue
true.
RNA to runway
Clumsy gaming
04,
on the
call
plane.
when established on final.
Continue RNAV to runway 04. We'll call when established on final. Cebu Air 559er. Turning final soon enough. After we've turned there, we can go back to manage descent. And that is when the plane will target to reach these speeds. 148 VAP is going to be the new target. From here, we should be able to arm the approach for RNAV, but we don't enable the landing scales because it's an RNAV approach. And we stick to 2,400 feet because that is the final approach fix. So that one is the end of descent. the end of the descent phase, start of the approach phase, that D right there, that magenta line. Final approach. Let's go to manage speed.
2,500.
2,500 indeed. And there you can see the magenta blocks there. Those are the pseudo glide slope, glide path, I think is how we call them. Hey IFR Sim, how come I'm in the right seat? Because I am only a first officer, as mentioned, as indicated in the Clumsy pilot's life. We show you. Well, it's not appearing now. Maybe not that one, this one. Maybe it's hard to multitask, huh? I'll show you later. But I'm a first officer in a pilot's life, and so I'm simulating that by being on the right seat. Winds are pretty good, almost good headwind here. Stay even like so. There's the runway in front of us, guys. No promises, alright? No promises. The paint is still wet. That's our main excuse. Start lowering the landing gears. Speed checks. Spoilers are armed. Flaps 3. And flaps full. And we are very far away from the glide path. Let's go and chase that. Don't worry, we're catching up to it. Pilot is asleep and Clumsy is flying. Exactly. Seatbelt signs are on. And let's go and enable those as well and inform the cabin crew. Now this airport is 10,000 feet, this runway, so no problem with braking. So I'm going to set low for auto brakes. And this time, let me try and properly do the approach here. Let me focus on this one now. That looks good. Two and two on the PAPI lights. I was overthinking the landing so hard. I still am. I actually came across some real life pilot forums where they are having the real similar problems. So apparently there is such a phase where you get lucky with the landings, and then when you're in the middle, you suck at landings consecutively.
1,000.
And then there are different explanations for them. I should report. Cebu Air 559er established on the RNAV approach to runway 04. Please clear me.
Cebu Air 559er winds are 032 at 12 knots, cleared to land runway 04.
Clear to land runway 04, Cebu Air 559er. Yeah, it's not only for the camera, it's to roleplay being a first officer. Oh, too high.
500. 400.
Glide slope.
Minimums. Land.
300.
Glide slope.
What do you mean glide slope? Should be good.
Glide slope.
200.
Let's try and catch that up.
100.
Looking good.
50. 50, 40, 30, retard, 10, 5.
That is beautiful. My goodness.
Cebu Air 559er exit runway when able.
That is one of the best landings I've done, I think. We'll have to replay that. Goodness. 80 knots. Reversers to idle. 60 knots. Manual braking. Stall the reversers. And let's just cruise along smooth as butter. Like a pro. Thank goodness we had favorable winds. And yeah, looks like I am better at landing with the CFM engines. And maybe because it's the livery, my own livery. Alright. Let's clean up. Flaps up. Let's have a look here. How the flaps are retracting. That looks so cool, doesn't it? Speed brakes are still there. Let's lower them down. Landing lights, we can get rid of that. Go to taxi lights right here. Clear of active Cebu Air 559er.
Cebu Air 559er, welcome to Mactan Cebu International Contact Ground on 121.8. Enjoy your morning.
Ground on 121.8. Good morning, Cebu Air 559er. I'm so lazy when it comes to this point, I don't contact ground anymore. I just get rid of pilot to ATC and find an open spot. Start the APU. I think we can find something there on the right, maybe. Nah, let's find something here on the left. Going to hope that there's something. Lots of different planes in here. Lots of Cebu Pacific ones though. But yeah, you can see the detail. It really looks like the real thing. Mactan Cebu International Airport. This is by Decoded Pilot. By Cloud Surf Asia. Simulations. Or something along those lines. Hey Totimac. I just finished making it. Are you the Totimac? The one who made the super high-res interiors and is now merged the A321? Hey, where are we parking this thing? Everything is full. Wow, thanks for your amazing work, man. It's an honor to be in your presence. I was trying to request for this livery. I don't think there's anything here. I'll just park here on the side. Yeah, here I think is an open spot. This could be good. Yeah, I was trying to request for the Cebu Pacific and I could not find anyone who was interested, so I decided to try it on my own. It's so hard. It's my first livery and it's so hard to figure it out. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Is that the right one? It should open up, I think. We are right in the middle, but I don't know. Maybe it's only for 737s. That's not working for some reason. I don't know why. Good. APU is available. Let's go and close engine 1. Seatbelt signs. Close engine 2. Brake fan. And that is a done deal. Let's have a look. Not actually that smooth, but I'll take it. 199 feet per minute. But actually, it's really 199 because this one, you don't see what I'm seeing, or do you? There you go. 199 feet per minute. But I think bang on the landing strips. And because before, like you see negative 50 here, or less than 50. That's not really less than 50. It's fake because I bounced. And I think the second landing was less than 50. Like, I smashed into the runway. I bounced, and then the second time I landed was less than 50. So fake, but I think this one is real 199, so I like that much better. Let's go ahead and check out the replay. But this is what I was saying, first officer. This is a pilot's life. I highly recommend it. It's simulating you as a pilot, and you can go and apply for different jobs and stuff like that. Right now I'm employed by Cebu Pacific, and that's why I was very much motivated to build my own livery like so, and put my own flair, my own logo in there. But when I release this, I'll probably remove that because they might not like that so much. So I'll make a CG free version. Yeah. Alright, let's go and check out the landing. By the way, let me turn off the beacons first. Just clean it up. Alright. There we go. Hand flying all the way. Landing gears down. Yeah, not the most stable approach. I was too preoccupied with doing other things, and I kept losing the center, but I think it turned out fine in the end. Thank goodness we had good weather. There we go. Right on the landing strips. Absolutely love it. See that one more time from this view. I think it was my first time hitting the landing strips, or what do you call it? The landing pad, the touchdown zone. Perfect. I will take that. Yeah, thanks Sonoma. Glad you made it today. Thank you guys for joining me on this ad hoc stream and for this live Clumsy Pilot episode, and for celebrating this livery with me. Yeah, best one yet. I think so too. Right in the center as well, right? Let's go and have a look at that from the runway. Right at the center. Almost, yeah. Last one, sorry. Give this to me. Cebu Pacific. Time everyone flies. There it is. Not too shabby. Alright guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. We'll end the stream here. We'll end the episode here. And yes, I'll post a link to the livery for those who want to try this out for themselves. Love it. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. And clumsy flying. Thank you. Have a good one. Thanks a lot, Alex. Appreciate that.